continuing here. So yeah, this business with Alex Jones. Look, I really like the guy, admire him a lot, and I just wish he wouldn't beat himself up so much because I think that's what it comes down to. This is just that he's kind of like a kamikaze pilot, where he didn't expect that the evil people were going to let him live this long, so he's kind of doesn't know really how to react to that because he expected just achieve greatness, which he really did with being such an outlandishly outspoken good American in my mind. I mean, anybody that is doing the right thing out there and exposing evil is a good guy. And so I think, at the end of the day, I really believe he's a good guy. Okay. But I think that he doesn't know everything about everything. And so he needs to be corrected at times. But if he's surrounded by yes men that are afraid to rub him the wrong way, those aren't his friends. I mean, if they were even like his brother, like a brother would do. Brothers often quarrel, from what I hear. I never had a natural brother. But you hear stories, and they call each other out on their stuff. And that's how I wish he would look at me. Just like a brother that's not going to lead him astray and give him bad advice. But I would just say, look, man, lay off that and see if things turn around for you. That's all. I mean, say the F word till the cows come home. The S word, I don't care, man. I'm not offended by any other term. It's just that one thing. When you're talking about God, it's like the whole it's written, man. This is like a commandment. You know what I mean? So somehow it goes against the last two commandments Christ gave, which is to honor God above all else. So if you dishonor that name or take it in a frivolous manner, that is dishonoring it. You're breaking the first commandment. You understand? So it's no wonder that you're having a hard time loving Joe Rogan. I mean, hey, look, I mean, I don't know what the guy did, if he's taking money from George Soros, and George Soros was when he was 14, he was intimidated. I mean, but he talks, I guess George Soros, from what Alex Jones says, that he enjoyed what he did. That was a happy time in his life when he was 14, when he was confiscating the possessions of the Jews and that sort of thing that makes Alex Jones nuts. So, see, Alex Jones certainly is not anti-Semitic at all. He is, so he's a defender of Israel and the Jews, and I am too. I mean, who isn't? Hitler was after a lot more people than just the Jews. Even if you didn't care about the Jews, of course we all should, but the gypsies and the poor, the Seventh-day Adventists, he was targeting over there in Nazi Germany, under the banner of socialism, by the way. So I get why Alex Jones is outraged. He can't stand George Soros, but remember, if God says that, Alex Jones' attitude toward George Soros and Joe Rogan has to be X, and Alex, because of his very powerful, strong personality, says no, it's going to be Y. And, that's kind of what I see that he does. Then who wins this thing? You understand? Nobody. And the problems just get worse. The division in our land just gets worse. Satan's just having a good old belly laugh over all the problems that stem from the lack of understanding. Okay? My people perish. What does the scripture say? Again, I mean, I can tap into all this passage from scripture, that my people perish from lack of understanding. And that's what's going on here, is that we got to get it. This is important stuff to God, man. And if it's important to God that we have the right attitude, the right spirit about denouncing evil in our land, then we've got to do it. It's good to expose the evildoers. That's good, the evil goings on. But there's no need in hating them and to the point where they get to despise you and mocking the evildoers, where they despise you. Do you understand? There's no point. This is not Christian behavior. It's not godly behavior. It's not proper behavior. It's not Ten Commandment behavior. It's not Jesus' new 2 commandments that override and overrule all the other commandments, because they're all encompassed in that, as it's written. The law and the prophets sum up these last 2 commandments. Love one another. Love God and then love one another. It's that simple. It's living by the golden rule. Treat others in a manner you really want to be treated. Be honest. And you'll succeed at pleasing God. And if you can do that, you will find happiness. That's it. It's a promise. God can't lie, and so it's all good. And it's all simplistic, and a child can understand. So we're all without excuse for not finding salvation. But then again, I mean, why people turn it up? I mean, maybe they overcome the powerful demonic forces in their lives are just too strong and they were overtaken. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know, have all the answers. I'm not God Almighty. I don't own anybody. I don't even own myself. I can't save anybody's life. I can't even save my own. But I can turn to one who can, and I can tell other people that's where to turn. That's the leading the horse to water. All of us. We're all those horses that we need to lead each other to water as a herd and get help for our problems. But, maybe I am just, little superstitious, okay, about the GD term. Okay, I don't know. But I've talked enough about that, and I want to move on to some other stuff. What do we got in here? I saw, let's see here. Okay, this is recent current events and talking points. I have notes here. There's racism all over the world. We've got to understand this. This whole idea they're trying to indoctrinate us with this idea that the only people that can be racist are white, and that's a stupid, prima facie stupid idea. Okay, I've been to a lot of places in the world. One of the places I went to, because different countries back in the 60s had different attitudes about America. When my family was taking a little sailboat through the canals of France, motoring mostly, it's a sailboat, but sailboats typically all have motors. So we motored through the locks that you go through, they change the levels of the river so that you can, take the canals of France from one end to the other, the Mediterranean to the English Channel or the other way around. But a lot of people didn't like Americans because we had the American flag on the boat, and you're supposed to fly the flag of the country that you're from. And a lot of people, the French didn't like us, for whatever reason. I don't know what it was about back then. Maybe it was about the Vietnam War, because that was the hot topic issue back in that day. My dad was pissed off at that too. So it's tough to be hated for something you hate too. It's like, wow, but these people don't understand. And the story of the day on Earth, I mean, the lack of understanding is causing the destruction of humanity. It's why we're in the predicament we're in. It's willful. A lot of it's willful. A lot of it's just that Satan's been very powerful at deceiving us. But Italy was another country, and I've been to Sicily, the island of Sicily, where Mount Etna is. I've climbed Mount Etna. And been to the island of Capri, and people have heard about these places probably, but very exotic. But I remember my dad and I were eating at a restaurant, because my mom and my two sisters, often they'd stay together. At this point, they were in Malta, staying there. Well, my dad and I were sailing. We were going to sail the boat to Ireland was the destination. Eventually we got there. My mom and sisters ended up flying there. But they'd get on and off the boat at different destinations. They got on the boat somewhere in Italy, and they, the whole family got to see Rome and that sort of thing. And go to Mount Vesuvius, see Pompeii. Though my dad and I might have done that on our own. But this one restaurant in Sicily, they served my dad and I, they served us this chicken. My dad cut into it. It was just riddled with maggots, started crawling out of it. He freaked out, man, just left it. And another example of potential, hey, you're American, we don't like you. Is that racist? Is it nationalist? Is it xenophobic? I mean, how do you describe it? Because if you go down to Mexico and you're white, even today, I mean, the last time I was down there, it has been admittedly decades since I've been to Mexico, but generally you're going to get stared at if you don't have brown skin, almost anywhere. If I go down in Central and South America, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb generally. So what is different? Why are they picking on America? We're this horrible racist nation. Why does everyone want to come? It's just not true. It's just a pretext, a pretense to get you to think you're bad, and we're going to focus on this. And, the one area where we've made progress, race relations. But we're not going to talk about the wealth imbalance. You understand how the mainstream media operates a propaganda machine, making mountains into molehills and molehills into mountains. We got UFOs flying in the sky locally, but we're not going to talk about that. You're a nut. You're seeing things. All those people you talk to, they don't know what they saw. Oh, it's easily explained away. It was a military exercise and top secret and in the name of national security. We've been told we can't talk about it. It's okay. We know what side our bread is buttered on. Okay, we know who signs our checks, so yeah, we'll shut the hell up. We're not going to talk about it. Anything that's really paranormal, that's supernatural, whoa, that's unexplainable. And the military called me, hey, did you guys have an exercise? Oh, well, no, we don't know a thing about it. No, can't explain it. Not a helicopter, not an airplane. What's hovering over the valley? We don't know. We don't want to talk about it, though. You understand how that's because it's empowering. Knowledge is power. They don't want people to be empowered with the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. But God is going to insist on it, and it's coming. And this is the kind of way He's doing it. He's pushing the envelope. It's done. The gig is up. The jig is up. Okay, the last few sands are falling through the hourglass. Get ready. Hold on to your behind, because God's will is going to be established on earth, and all the forces, combined forces of darkness, cannot stop it, will not prevail. Okay, get ready for the world of tomorrow, which God is in control of, and know that what that world's going to be like, it's not a mystery, it's not a secret. Quite the contrary. So study up, find out, talk to people, realize it's dramatically and profoundly different from this one. I saw an episode of Law and Order, SVU. This lady district attorney or assistant district attorney, she slapped this rookie cop upside the head while he was sitting at his desk. Can you imagine? I mean, this was an older woman, probably, I guess, in her 50s or so, and she whacks this young guy upside the head. Could you imagine if the roles were reversed and it was an older male assistant DA smacking a young female? I mean, it's not going to physically hurt him, but it's very humiliating to get smacked upside the head. Could you imagine if the roles were reversed, the public outrage? This is so emblematic of the way men have been. We've been, what's the term? Cucked? Oh, well, it's okay. It's a guy. And it's, what are you, wussy? Can't you, humiliation. This is all, no, it's bull. Don't ask with my head, okay? No, you try that the other way around. You get an assistant DA in his 50s playing the part of smacking some young female dumbass bubbly blonde rookie upside the back of the head. Not going to harm him physically, just a good whack upside the head, okay? You try that, you script writers. Let's see what happens. And we talk about sexism and how it's manifest. What the hell is that crap? What the hell is that crap? What the hell's going on here? Super Bowl, whoop-de-doo. Jeff Bezos suing the Inquirer. That's kind of funny. Good distraction. Oh, girls can join the Boy Scouts. Here's more sexism in reverse. No. Why can only girls join the Boy Scouts and boys can't join the Girl Scouts? Okay, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But they're not even going to talk about that. What's up with this? Okay, this is a bunch of bull. Jesse Smollett. The funny thing is, it's like, it doesn't make sense because he says that these people ran away saying MAGA country or something is what he said to the police. That's his report. They're still investigating to see if he was even being on the up and up with them. There's some missing time, they say. It's peculiar, suspicious. But they don't want to say that he's being dishonest yet. And then, even if he was, they probably don't want it to be a story, so it's probably just going to fade away. This story won't come up anymore. But the thing is if these were really Trump supporters, why on earth would they do that? See, about a frame-up, you understand? It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. When they know Smollett is just going to go and he's going to tell the world. I mean, if you really support Trump, you understand it doesn't jive with logic. Why would you do that? It's like saying, oh yeah, Trump supporters are all big, fat, racist homophobes. That's all they're saying. So those were Trump supporters that did that to Jesse Smollett. If this really happened, you understand, it doesn't make sense. It's not so much that Jesse Smollett just wants to frame. I mean, maybe yes, maybe no. I mean, the jury's still out. I don't know what the evidence is, but this could turn bombshell, or it could just fade away. And yeah, I lied. I made it up because I hate Trump and I hate his supporters, whatever. But we'll find out. Time will tell or won't tell, one way or the other. Hey, there's a lady I've had on my mind, and she'll know if she listens to me ever, but Her name is Lauren, and she's just a doll. I just find her irresistibly attractive. Her demure nature, I just know she's real, and I find her just very sweet and adorable, and I like her a lot. But I'd like to wish her a happy upcoming Valentine's Day, and I don't want to embarrass her. And if she wants a relationship with me, man, she's got it. Any way she wants, her terms are fine. I really like my independence. I'll put that out there, so I'm not looking for big changes in my life. That's for sure. I just I like her, and every time I hear her, see her, she makes me smile.